All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something huge today, how you can stop just dreaming about your goals and actually, start doing them. We're going to break down how to turn those massive, overwhelming ambitions into small, exciting wins you can nail every single week.
But before we get to the solution, let's talk about the problem. Let's talk about a feeling I'm pretty sure every single one of us has felt, that complete and total overwhelm when you set a really big goal.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You get this burst of inspiration. You're going to write a book, or learn a new language, or finally start that business. And for a minute, you feel incredible. But then, it hits you. The sheer size of it all. And you just freeze.
This slide just nails it. It's the perfect metaphor. You can see the peak, that big, amazing thing you want to achieve, but the path to get there, it's completely lost in the fog. And that feeling of, where on earth do I even begin? Well, it's so paralyzing that most of the time, we never even take that first step.
So, how do we cut through that fog? How do we find the path? Well, the answer is the big idea of this entire explainer. It's a really simple but honestly a life-changing shift in how you think about your goals.
And there it is. That's the secret. Instead of trying to scale the entire mountain in one go, you just focus on the little trail right in front of you, just 1 week at a time. This is a total game changer for your brain. It stops you from getting overwhelmed and gives you these little hits of accomplishment, these little wins that fuel your motivation to keep climbing.
And the best part? You don't have to guess how to do it. There's an actual system, a super clear 5-step framework you can literally start using today to make real, tangible progress.
So here's the roadmap. It's a powerful cycle that keeps you moving forward. You start with number 1, you reflect. You think about that big picture mountaintop. Then you identify a few specific SMART goals for the week. Step 3, and this is crucial, you actually schedule time for them in your calendar. At the end of the week, you take a moment to celebrate what you did. And finally, you use what you learned to set new goals for the next week. See? It's this awesome continuous loop of action and improvement.
Okay, let's zoom in on that second step, because this little acronym, SMART, is what turns a fuzzy wish into a concrete plan of attack. It makes your goal specific, so you know exactly what you're doing. Measurable, so you know when you've done it. Achievable, so it's realistic. Relevant, so it actually matters to your big picture goal. And time-bound, so you have a deadline. It basically removes all the guesswork.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. That goal on the left, read more. I mean, it's a nice thought, but it's not a plan. It's a wish. There's no way to hold yourself accountable. But now look at the one on the right. Read 20 pages of a nonfiction book each day this week. Bam! That has power. It's specific, you can measure it, and it's got a deadline. You know exactly what success looks like.
But look, having a great goal isn't enough. You have to make time for it. This is where you treat your goals like they're important meetings. You literally block out time in your calendar. And you gotta be smart about it. Put your most important goal first. And think about your energy. Are you a morning person? Cool, tackle the hard stuff then. The whole point is to be realistic and set yourself up to actually win the week.
All right, so we've covered the what and the how. But now we need to get to the most important part, the why. Because if you want a goal to stick for the long haul, it has to genuinely matter to you.
And this is where the real, lasting motivation comes from. When your little weekly actions are connected to your deep core values, that's when it stops feeling like a chore on a to-do list. It becomes a meaningful step toward who you want to be. That's a whole different level of fuel.
Seriously, take a moment this week and ask yourself this question. What lights you up? What makes you feel alive and gives you a sense of purpose? When you can find a way to weave those things into your goals, well, you basically create an unstoppable source of energy for yourself.
Okay, enough theory, right? Let's bring this down to earth and see what this actually looks like in different parts of your life.
Let's talk career. Maybe your huge mountain goal is getting a promotion. So what's a weekly step? It could be as simple as this. Learn one new skill. That could be watching an hour of tutorials, or reading a couple of chapters in a book, or signing up for a mini course. It's a concrete, manageable step forward.
Or how about wellness? Instead of that vague idea of, I need to get healthier, you make it real. You make it a number, a simple, achievable target. Like this, I will exercise for 30 minutes 3 times this week. It's not intimidating, and by Sunday, you've built some serious momentum.
And hey, this isn't just for work in the gym. It's for your relationships too, which are so important. Your goal for the week could just be to reconnect with one person. Send that text, make that call. It's such a small action, but it can have a huge positive ripple effect on your life.
So as we start to wrap this up, I really want to focus on just how much power is packed into a single week. It might not feel like a lot of time, but when you use this system, the ripple effect is just massive.
The reason this whole thing works so well is because it creates this amazing feedback loop. You're constantly learning and getting a little bit better. It holds you accountable every 7 days. It gives structure to your dreams. And maybe most importantly, it lets you adapt. You know, life happens. If you have a crazy week, you can just adjust your plan for the next one without feeling like a total failure.
I absolutely love this quote. It just sums everything up perfectly. Success isn't about some giant, heroic leap. It's not magic. It's just a series of small, smart, consistent steps, taken week after week after week.
So I'll leave you with this one question. I want you to forget about the giant mountain for just a second. Just look down at the ground right in front of you. What is the one small, simple, smart step you're going to take this week?